to my channel. Today I have a super exciting video for you guys. So I'm going to be cleaning and decorating my home for fall. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of baking as well as sharing this super delicious cold brew coffee recipe, perfect for the fall time. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. So I'm gonna start off with the coffee recipe and then move into some cleaning and some decorating. A few of you guys have been asking to see other areas in our home, so you'll get a little sneak peek other than just in my kitchen. I am sticking to very budget-friendly decor this year. I actually did not get anything new at all for seasonal decor. I just pulled out all of my stuff from last year, which I absolutely love, so I really did not feel the need to spend any more money. And then after all of the cleaning and decorating is done, I'm also going to be sharing an apple fritter bread recipe. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that one. It is super delicious and perfect for the fall time. If this is your first time stopping by my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Caitlin. I do mostly cooking videos on my channel. I do post a what's for dinner video every single Sunday. Lots of crock pot meals, meal planning, grocery hauls, all things food on this channel. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely make sure you hit that little subscribe button. But let's go ahead and get into all of the fall goodness. So before we get into all of the decorating, I did want to show you how to make this super delicious pumpkin cream cold brew recipe. It's kind of similar to Starbucks. I'm actually just starting off by making my own pumpkin pie spice mix just because I didn't have any on hand. And it's actually a lot cheaper to make your own, so I definitely recommend doing that, especially if you already have all of the spices. So into this little jar, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of nutmeg, 2 teaspoons of ginger, and then 1 teaspoon of either allspice or cloves. I did use cloves on this day. And then you're just gonna shake it up, and this is gonna be the perfect pumpkin pie spice for any recipe. So I am using my KitchenAid to make the cold foam. I did go ahead and throw my bowl in the freezer just to chill it a little bit, and then I'm adding about half a cup of milk, half a cup of whipping cream, and then I'm also adding in a 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree. Make sure it's the pumpkin puree and not the pumpkin pie mix. I also did add in 2 tablespoons of sugar, as well as about 1.5 teaspoons of that pumpkin pie spice. I think next time I'm only going to do 1 teaspoon though, so that is what I would recommend doing, is the 1 teaspoon, and then I just whipped that together for a couple of minutes until it was nice and fluffy. Of course, I had to bust out my favorite fall mug, so I'm just filling it up with just a little bit of ice. I don't do too much, and then I'm adding in some cold brew, probably about a cup or so. Use whatever cold brew you want, and then I'm adding in just under a tablespoon of vanilla syrup. Stir that together and get it mixed up, and then all you're gonna do is take that cold foam and add it right on top. You guys, this is so delicious. I actually think it's better than Starbucks in my opinion. It's a little bit sweeter and such a delicious fall treat. I did top it with a little bit more pumpkin pie spice, but you guys are gonna love this one. So I ended up deciding to start off in the living room because I knew I wouldn't be doing a ton of decor in this room just because it's the room where my kids and I spend the majority of our time during the day. So I wanted to keep it really simple so that they didn't get into things. But before I even start with any decor, I knew I had to get this couch vacuumed off. It was so dirty. It was just full of crumbs. The kids were eating crackers in here that morning, and it was just super messy. I don't know if any of you guys can relate to this, but my kids leave a little trail of crumbs wherever they go. So that is what I'm doing. I'm just really quickly vacuuming off the couch before I get started. I did not go super in-depth in cleaning in this video. I kept it pretty basic, just dusting things off before putting new decor down. But this little task definitely needed to get done before I could start decorating. kept the rest of our living room super simple, but I did decide to do a little bit more on our entertainment center. I'm just pulling everything off and then I'm actually going to get it wiped down really well. So for cleaning throughout this video, I am just using my Thieves cleaner. I really do love this stuff. I've had it for so long, it lasts forever, and it has the best smell, especially for fall, because it's very like spicy smelling. It has that clove smell. It smells really delicious. So it was perfect for decorating and getting everything cleaned up. So this is what I ended up coming up with for our entertainment center, and I do really like how it turned out. The kids have been trying to pull some of this stuff off, but I've been trying to keep them out of it as much as possible. I did decide to just spray off all of these little shelves, but unfortunately I really cannot put any decor on them because my kids will just pull it right off and everything is right in their reach. So I had to go ahead and skip that this year, but this is how the entertainment center ended up looking. Now I'm heading into my dining room area. Again, really simple decor in all of the rooms in our house. This is just a little shelf that I decided to clear off and give it a little bit more fall vibes. I really had a hard time deciding what I wanted to put on here. You guys are going to see that I really switch things up until I get what I like. This little cart actually used to be in our old kitchen before we remodeled it, but once we had finished the kitchen, we decided to repurpose that cart and kind of use it in our dining room just for an area to have like decor and other random things we will keep in this little cart. It is very convenient to have here. And then that barn window that you see right above this cart, I actually ended up refinishing that. And I like how it turned out. It makes for a perfect piece with this little cart. And again, I kept the fall decor very simple here, just kind of using things that I already had on hand. I feel like this area is kind of the odds and ends that I didn't know what to put here. I had a hard time decorating this area. It's always hard for me to decorate for some reason on this little cart. And then for the window, I just decided to hang up a little banner that I had on hand. I really would like to find a fall wreath to go here, but I have not found one that I liked yet. And like I said, I did not buy any new fall decor this year, and I'm just making do with what I had on hand already. And now we are moving into my favorite room in the house, which you guys already know. You see this room in pretty much all of my videos. I am working in the kitchen. So before I even get started with decorating, I just decided to go around and spray down all of the counters so it would just be done, so I could just really quickly decorate everything. It's kind of funny, but we actually do most of our eating at this little bar area here because as of right now, it's my husband, my son, and myself that will sit in these normal chairs, and then we'll just pull my daughter's height chair up right next to us. But once she gets a little bit bigger, we're gonna probably have to start eating at the dining room table. But these chairs are always super messy after meals and stuff. I just have to wipe them down all the time because they're always filled with crumbs from my son. This is probably one of my all-time favorite decor pieces that I've ever purchased. It's just this little tiered stand that I got from Target. I think it's so cute and it matches the dark wood color throughout our house and I really love it. I had to play around with this decor and just kind of see what I liked and rearrange it a little bit, but I do love how it ended up turning out with all of the orange in here. I just think it's really, really pretty against our white kitchen. This little basket we actually keep out all year just to keep all of our fresh produce that's out on our counter. So I just store all of it in this basket, but I did notice that the liner was a little bit dirty, so I just pulled it out, threw it in the washing machine, and here I'm just putting it back on there. And I thought this would be a perfect spot to have a little bit more fall decor. It really ties in with that basket, and I thought it turned out super cute and a little bit more festive. That is actually it for all of the fall decor, but now I do want to show you this cinnamon swirl apple fritter bread recipe. You guys, this was so delicious. You're definitely going to have to try this one out. I'm just starting off with 2 cups of peeled and chopped up apples. The recipe did call for Granny Smith, but I just used what I had on hand and it worked out totally fine. I just drizzled them with some lemon juice to prevent browning, and then I'm adding on 2 tablespoons of regular sugar with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm just tossing all of that together until everything is really well combined. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Now into this other bowl, I'm getting the cinnamon and sugar mixture ready. So this is 1/3 cup of brown sugar with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and I'm just getting all of this mixed together. This is actually going to go inside of the bread. Once we get that mixed together, it's going to get kind of layered in there, and it's so good in this recipe, so definitely don't skip this step. Now we are heading over to my stand mixer to mix up the actual bread part of this recipe. So here I have 1 stick of softened butter with 2/3 cup of granulated sugar, and I'm just creaming this together for a good couple minutes until it's really nice and creamy and kind of fluffy. And then I'm adding in the 2 eggs that the recipe calls for. Make sure that's really well combined. You're probably going to want to stop and actually scrape the sides of the bowl. Mine did get a little bit stuck on there, and you want to make sure that this is really well combined before adding in the vanilla and the rest of the ingredients. So I added in probably about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. You can measure out if you want, but I did not. And now is the time to add in all of the dry ingredients. So this is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and just get all of this mixed together. You're also going to want to add in about 1/2 cup of milk to just kind of thin out this batter, and then you're ready to go and get all of this assembled together. So here I have my loaf pan. I just sprayed it with a little bit of oil, and then I'm adding in about half of my batter here. You're going to get that spread out into a thin layer, and then you're going to be adding on the apples with the cinnamon sugar mixture. So you're going to want to eyeball and just add about half of them and kind of get it like pressed into the cake just a little bit. And then you're also going to add in half of that cinnamon and sugar mixture that you had mixed up earlier. And now we are going to do the same thing all over again. So add the rest of your batter right on top here and get it spread out. Just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. Forever. You'll add in all the rest of the apples as well as that cinnamon and sugar mixture that you added on before. Once you have all of that on there, you're actually going to go ahead and give everything kind of a swirl to get it combined. You do want a lot of it on top, but you do want to kind of swirl it together as well. And then this is gonna get baked in the oven for about an hour. I'm gonna have this full recipe linked down below for you guys. I did end up covering up the edges with a little bit of tin foil just so that it did not brown so much, but this is how it came out. It was so delicious, you guys. Now I'm making the glaze to go on top. So this is about 1 cup of powdered sugar, and I just added in the milk until I got the consistency that I liked. I would say start with a tablespoon and work your way up from there. The recipe said 1 to 3 tablespoons. I probably did somewhere right in the middle. Once you get the consistency that you like, you're gonna go ahead and just drizzle this right on top of your loaf. You do wanna make sure that it is completely cooled off so that the glaze doesn't just melt right off. But oh my goodness, this glaze with this bread, I cannot even explain to you how delicious this recipe was. If you are not a big fan of pumpkin, but you do like apples, this is definitely a recipe you're going to want to give a try. It was super delicious. I gave it to both of our dads. My son loved it. My husband loved it. We all really enjoyed this bread recipe. Absolutely perfect for fall. You can see all of the apples and the cinnamon mixture right in there with that glaze on top. It was just absolute perfection. All right, friends, that is going to wrap up today's fall clean and decorate with me with a little bit of baking thrown in the mix. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit that little subscribe button. I do post tons of new cooking content on this channel every single week. A new what's for dinner every single Sunday, grocery hauls, food prep, all things food on this channel. So if that is something you're interested in, definitely make sure you're subscribed. But that is going to be it for today's video. I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care.